We will move on to 6A, Downtown Main Street presentation, third quarter report.
Hello, I'm Megan Shuey with Downtown Main Street. I'm the Executive Director. Also in the audience is Brent James, our President. Thank you very much for having us here today to give our third quarter report. Since we haven't given any other quarter report yet this year, we are going to kind of go back a little bit, but so we can cover a little bit more of what we've been up to. I just want to first of all talk about the purpose of Downtown Main Street is to improve the community's quality of life by strengthening the downtown as the core of community through education, volunteer support, and concentrated efforts in design and preservation, promotion, business development, and organization. Our guiding document, what we pull out all the time is the Downtown Action Plan, and we make sure that our work is following what this body decided was a good idea to follow in November 2009. This is not a document that sits on a shelf. It's tattered and earmarked, and it's something that we used when we worked with the council earlier this summer to put together our city contract. Our organization has 4 committees. Design and preservation, its chief role is beautification and historic preservation. Business development, that's education, business visits, and marketing. Organization, which serves as our executive committee. And promotions, which does our events and special promotions for downtown. We are a member of Minnesota Main Street. That's also a member of the National Main Street organization. We are a 2017 affiliate. This is an important thing for us. It means that we're following standards that are outlined, and we have to meet certain criteria every year to get that affiliate status. And we just had our visit from Minnesota Main Street, and we believe that we will meet the criteria for accredited Main Street through the National Association. So we're very excited about that this year. I just wanted to point out one statistic on this slide. In 2016, for every $1 spent to run a local Main Street program, $35.33 was reinvested back to the community. So what we do is really important work and continues to help grow our community. We did get an award. We were nominated by the Minnesota Main Street Program for an award for Best Community Impact Project for the Small Business Revolution. They submitted our application and then awarded us the award. So that was an honor. And these are some of our colleagues in the Main Street programs around the state. Just quickly talk about our revenue streams. We get asked this question quite a bit. After we received the city contract for 2017-2018, it compromises about 33% of our budget. Business partnerships and friends program about 34%, and events and fundraisers are 33%. Our contract, we finally got approved and going in August, and it was these things: banners and flag recommendations and program for downtown and along Highway 61, Main Street, Jordan Court enhancement, dashboard of progress for downtown, a winter event, downtown sign and awnings, sustainability opportunities for downtown Main Street, PACE program education, gateway enhancement, and Red Wing branding. So let's talk about what we've been doing since August. The banners and flag programs, we have been working with Brian Peterson and the committee, so it's underneath the Design and Preservation Committee, and there's a subcommittee that has been meeting about the banners and flag program for downtown. It's met monthly and has now started to meet weekly to get the program really going more quickly, so we don't have empty banner poles along Highway 61. And we're going to, the next steps is to come back with a recommendation for the council to approve, and then hopefully to engage the arts community, because we really do want to have a focus on arts and the banners. If you go through most towns, the banners kind of look the same, and we decided we aren't the same as other communities, and we want to look like what we really are. So engaging the arts is really important in this project. Jordan Court enhancement, we are working with Dan Rogness on this project. We're really looking for community input Back in the first part of the summer, Downtown Main Street and the city met with property owners to discuss possible scenarios and find out if they were interested in selling or leasing or whatever it ends up being, some of the property along Jordan Court and behind Jordan Court. And they're all very interested in moving forward, but they want to kind of understand the concepts before they agree with anything, which you can understand. So the next steps is for the city to hire a design consultant in the spring, consultant to facilitate a design charrette that we help to promote and gather info on social media and other ways as well. Another project that we're working on is Dashboard of Progress. The city just got done doing the scorecard, and we want to do the same thing for our downtown. Where are we at now? And so that's what we're working on now, is gathering that information for that scorecard. And next would be a meeting with the community to determine priorities and targets for us to follow moving forward. Winter event. We're moving forward, charging forward with a winter event, a larger winter event, and then the Big Turn Music Fest happened and started coming together, and we decided that this was a great opportunity to support another organization coming in and putting on a festival, and at the same time we can capitalize on some of those folks coming to town for that by having a day of activities downtown before the music starts. So that's where that's looking like. That's landing Saturday, February 17th is the date, and we're meeting to firm up plans, and details will be distributed next week. We had to just get through holiday stroll before we launched. So we'll be engaging the community service, youth, church groups, et cetera, to bring activities downtown, and we'll have one signature event for downtown Main Street. The Downtown Sign, Awning, and Facade program, our staff liaison is Steve Cohn. He also sits on our Design and Preservation Committee. This is really to help educate property owners and business owners about good sign and awning best practices. And we worked with the Minnesota Main Street and Preservation Alliance to find a speaker to come in and talk to us about what those best practices can look like in a community like Red Wing. The speaker is Joe Lowinzak, downtown design specialist from Wisconsin Main Street program. So he's from their state program. Minnesota's state program has had a vacancy in their historical preservation staff that we would normally kind of call on for this, so they are actually paying, Minnesota Main Street will pay for Joe to come in and give this presentation for us, which we think is pretty great. It's leveraging our relationship with Minnesota Main Street again and again. So that presentation will occur in January, and then we also are, we're really excited. The Port Authority is moving forward with their grant program, and we're going to support them however we can and work forward on getting some great new signs, awnings, and facades in Red Wing. Sustainability opportunities for downtown. We were specifically called out as special services district. This is something that we need to learn more about and kind of take the temperature of building owners and folks in town if they're what their appetite is for this. So we did hire a consultant to begin discussions and develop the initial strategy outline. However, he is part of the Minnesota Super Bowl committee, so he's a little busy until February 4th or so. So we'll be meeting with him as soon as that gets moving along. PACE program. PACE is such a great program, especially for historic properties, because any building enhancement and increases property values, et cetera, but it's also an expensive and upfront cost. And so PACE helps to kind of make it an easier pill to swallow. And so we're really looking forward to marketing the program through mailing to property owners, and then hold a business owner and building owner event to present and gather feedback about not just PACE, but other items that we're talking about downtown and affect downtown. Leanne Knott, the GIS specialist for the city, has provided us with a list of property owners, has been a great asset to us as we put this together. Gateway enhancement from the bridge. This is something that we are not slated to start on until probably mid to late 2018. The idea for this is to work with the city and community to begin the idea and design phase of the key gateway area, and this gateway area is the bridge area. Community branding, this is something we're also really excited to get moving on in 2018. There was a group called Red Wing Forward that was meeting for a year or more that kind of stalled out, and so we were asked to help to facilitate that community-based marketing initiative and to figure out how we can move that forward. And I just have a sample of Fargo's on there. I just love what they've done with their North of Normal branding. It's on everything, and it really does paint a picture of Fargo. So threw that in there as a sample. So those are the city contract items that we've been working on in the last few months. I just want to talk about a few of the other projects that we've been working on in 2017. You may remember a little contest called the Small Business Revolution. On my right-hand side is all of the press that we got and the links to the press that we got for that we know of. There's probably more out there that we don't know of what we got for that week or two. But merchants reported a 25 to 50% increase in sales during March in 2017, and we continue to hear anecdotally that they see increases. And when they ask people about where they're from or how they came to Red Wing, some of them still say, "Well, I heard about you on the news, and I remembered coming as a kid, and I had to come back," or "I haven't been here in a few years," or "This is my first time." So that contest has really had some very interesting ripple effects. Now, you know, what are the other outside factors? We don't know. There has been an increased occupancy in hotels. And then we didn't advertise at all in any national magazines for the holiday stroll, but they came to us and asked if we could be in their calendar or if they could feature us in some way. And so we think that probably is just from our exposure from that contest. So it continues to be a fun ripple effects to watch. Some of you, if you're on Facebook, know that we have done a Red Wing Revolution. Instead of the Small Business Revolution, we call it the Red Wing Revolution video series. During the Small Business Revolution, we had over 146,000 video views of our content during that contest alone. That means 146,000 eyeballs on our videos alone. That doesn't count photos and other types of posts. And then since then, almost 30,000 views of the Red Wing Revolution video series featuring downtown businesses. And that's only 4 videos. So if you think about the kind of exposure that we're getting and eyeballs on businesses, et cetera, in Red Wing, especially downtown, it's still very considerable and really enviable when we meet with our counterparts from the Main Street program. They all wonder what in the world we're still doing. So we had a little event on Friday from Holiday Stroll. Hopefully most of you made it down there. And I don't know if any of you saw the yarn. There was a yarn display about, it had age groups, and you had to answer a question with your color yarn. And what shocked me the most was the amount of people who tied their yarn around the little knob that said, "I'm from farther than 50 miles away." And it was a considerable amount. So we know that people are coming from all over southern Minnesota and the Twin Cities to come to that event, and it grows every year. Amanda Brinkman from the Small Business Revolution was the Grand Marshal, and we continue to connect with Deluxe in any way that we can. They've been a great resource for us. And then, of course, she has a huge social media presence. So she posts, 10 pictures of her in the Red Wing parade on her social media. So it's just an amazing churn of visibility for us. And then during the event, we had the University of Minnesota Tourism Center conduct an economic impact survey. They were out actually asking, they had a clipboard of questions, and we will get those results this spring. And so we'll know, we ask questions like, what is your income? What did you buy when you're downtown? Where are you from? Why do you come to this event? What are your favorite events? So we can help to not just use this to talk about the economic impact, but also to help to make the event better every year. You guys bought a lot of planters and put them downtown. And they were filled with beautiful flowers this summer. And then this winter, there was nothing in them. And so we had sold sponsorship for garlands that we normally put around light poles. But because MnDOT put a whole bunch of signs on the poles, we didn't really think it was probably a good idea to cover those signs up. So we switched gears, and instead of doing garlands, we decorated pots. So we decorated and move those sponsorships, those people, those businesses, and folks who purchase sponsorships to help us keep downtown looking beautiful. So we use those funds to hire Hallstrom's to decorate all of this medium and small pots. And then we had 9 of those big pots left. And so we had developed a contest for the 9 largest pots. That contest starts tomorrow, and it'll be on our Facebook page. And you can vote for, each pot has a number on it, and you'll be able to vote for which pot is your favorite. And then we have some prizes to give away. So that's something that we're really excited about, and it's been really fun to see all the different groups that stepped up to do a pot and how creative they were and how great it looks downtown. This summer, we did the downtown walk around, and 30 merchants participated. Merchants noted an increase in foot traffic. They all want us to do it again next summer. It was you got a stamp if you walked into a business, and we had many cards that were filled out completely and some that were filled out mostly, and then we drew a name for a grand prize that got some gift certificates. It was a really fun summer activity for the community, and it got people inside stores that hadn't visited for a while or had never even been in those stores. We heard those comments a lot from our merchants. So we'll be doing that again in some iteration in 2018. Other projects that we did in 2017, we do business visits to our members and potential members. We've been working with the ski jump group and helped to pull together some economic impact research that will be coming out in the next few weeks that will really help us understand what that ski jump what the economic impact is on direct and indirect spending during any event that they have, etc. We have marketing and education trainings. This year we did 2 with Deluxe. We've done a Marketing in the Morning series that we partnershiped with Red Wing Ignite that brought people together in a very casual, free environment, and it just was, let's talk about marketing for your business and it was great because they've figured out how to help each other and answer each other's questions. We've got a new business partnership and individual friends program, and then we've been updating our bylaws and articles of incorporation. The articles had not been updated since our formation, our official formation in 1997, so we thought our 20-year anniversary was a good idea to get that done. Upcoming 2018 projects, we want to do an inventory of second stories of downtown buildings. We know some of them are even vacant, and we all know there is a housing shortage in town, and so we're very excited to figure out what's happening in those second stories and then start to think about what could happen in them. We've got an Old West Main event. Old West Main merchants and building businesses and building owners have come together to start talking about what they want to do down in their area, and we're spearheading that and helping support them. We're also looking at a First Fridays event in the summer so that we can have businesses open late, maybe music in the streets. We'll see how that comes together this winter. We're going to develop a downtown shopping guide. And then we've got to get some downtown maps, and Leanne is not from the GIS here, is helping us think about that because we don't have a great downtown map, at least an updated one. So that is what we've been up to, and I'd welcome any questions.
Any questions, Megan? Evan?
Yeah, you've been very busy, and we thank you. I want to commend you and also encourage you to use 2 opportunities to really can put the conversation out there about pace. I mean, especially when you're talking about upgrading, looking at second stories downtown is a great opportunity to energy retrofit those properties, and so I really take that opportunity, try to use that as a conversation starter there. And additionally, when you're talking about the sustainability issues, that's again, you'll be dealing with the property owners. I really, it's a program. It's done a lot of good across the country, and I'd really love to see us get more of it here because it's, it's private funding but it's all designed so that the energy savings actually wash against the loan increase that comes out as a special tax assessment. So I just encourage you to keep working on that and don't let that fall behind the cracks. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Megan.
Sure.